I noticed in the comments on a previous video that we made that one or two people said there was a bit of problem with the footage, meaning that it was shaking quite a bit in places, which I do apologise for, but I've now bought something that is going to help prevent that happening on future videos, and I'll show you what it is. So this is basically what I've bought to help with that shaky video problem. You may have seen them before, but if not, that is what they're called. An Osmo Mobile SE, and it basically takes the shake out of your videos. So we'll take it out of the box, I'll show you how I set it up, and then we'll take a walk around the park filming without making any effort whatsoever to stop that camera from shaking, and we'll see how it turns out. Since we're going to be filming down site to test this out, I thought I'd come down to this van. So we'll take a look at what you get in this box. Well, you get a carrying pouch for when you fold it up and you're not using it. That is a magnet, basically. That's what holds your phone. And then we've got the main thing, quite strange looking actually. And then lastly, we've got an extension that screws onto the bottom of this. And that folds out into a tripod if you want to stand it on something while you're filming. I'm not going to be using that part though, because I think this will screw onto the bottom of my tripod, which extends quite high, which is what I need. So that's about all there is in the box. Basically, you just fold that up like that, and then you can attach your phone to it. It's also got this magnetic part, and it's got a little notch cut out on it. So when you put this part on, it only goes one way, and it just snaps on like that. Mind your fingers if you get one of these. Then you can fit your phone to it. Obviously I can't fit my phone to it while I'm actually filming, so I brought a really old one that I've got, just to show you, because it won't do what it's supposed to do unless it's actually got some weight on it. So this clamp just basically pulls apart so it'll fit virtually any phone, and then you can snap your phone on like that. Then I'll power it up, and if you don't want to film that way, then you press a button on here. It's a white one, just press it twice and it automatically adjusts. So then you can start recording your footage. And what's good about these is when you move them, whichever way you move it, that stays in position basically. There is other things on it, there it does as well. But what we want to do basically is see whether it does take all that shake after his videos. So we're going to pop outside, have a quick walk round and see if it actually does the job. Also, if you want to manually move the focus, you can press this little joystick type button and it turns it left and right. And you can also go up and down. As I said, there is lots of features on this. I'm just not going to go into them all. So let's see how it does when we're actually walking with it around park. We'll take a walk round a couple of different areas and we'll put it on the selfie camera and then the main camera and see how it does. So walking down park, and I'm not making any effort to try and stop this camera shaking. I'm just holding it out, and we all know that when you hold things at arm's length, that encourages checking all the more. So I've gone a little distance, so I'm going to swap it to the other camera now. We'll take a walk back down this path. Once again, I'm not making any effort whatsoever to try and keep this camera stable. The unit is supposed to do that job for us. I'm going to have to go through all the different modes that this unit's got, because you pair it via Bluetooth to your phone as well, which I've already done. but it's got quite a lot of other features. I'm just going to try this button here, see what it does. Not much. There's also a trigger on the back. Again, I'm not really sure what that's for. I think when you hold the trigger down, it keeps it in the position that you've put it in. Something like that. Actually, it's wandering now. As I'm walking, the camera's turned itself around. So as I'm moving it now, holding that trigger, the camera is turning itself. I bet people are out there saying, I wish you'd stop moving it about. But as I've said, I don't really know how to use this. So I'm walking back down this path now. Hopefully we're going to get some really good, stable footage. Let's take a look at the view over that field. Amazing. And then we'll go a bit farther down. I actually just fell into an hole then. It's about as good a test as any. I'm always wary walking down here because of wasps. Seems to be quite a few around sometimes. And pigeons. The only problem with this area is the constant winds that we get, especially when you're trying to record. Let's go through this gap. Also moving it around quite a bit as well. So I'm heading back to the van now. We'll get this footage off and we'll see how it's come out. So there you go. I think it's done a really good job of removing that shake. I think if I actually walked around a little steadier, it would have completely wiped any kind of movement out and made it that much smoother. But it's a good tool regardless, and we'll be using that on future videos. So that's the DJI Osmo Mobile SE, and I think you can get those from Argos for around $59.99. So if you're thinking about shooting a bit of footage, it's probably worth your while investing in one of these. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And if you want to see what else we do as we go through summer in a static caravan, then please hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and I'll see you all very soon. Take care.